Guys, welcome back again to this channel. This is Mastat, and we are back with another video. And this time we're gonna talk about slope. So I know there are many people that hate slope. But let's see, what is slope? Slope basically is the coefficient of the input variable. So all the time we've been doing things such as y equals 2x minus 3, or things like that, of that nature, or an equation. Well, the slope is basically the coefficient of the input, or the coefficient of the abscissa, or of the domain. So, but how do we get to that? Well, there's a formula for slope, and the slope is usually denoted by m. So m is equal to the slope, So the slope has a formula, and the formula for the slope, basically, to get the slope, you have to have at least 2 points, or you have to have 2 points basically to get the slope. And the 2 points can be anything. It can be 2 points that are vertical, that are horizontal, or diagonal. It can be any type. So, what is the formula for the slope? Well, the formula for the slope, m, is basically the second ordinate minus the first ordinate over, let me actually write as a true, it's gonna be the second ordinate or range minus the first ordinate or the first y over x, which is the second abscissa minus the first abscissa. This is how you calculate the slope. So basically, knowing this, let's actually find out. We have to have at least 2 points. You have to have 2 points basically to find the slope. So let's say we have those 2 points. We have a point P1, which is 1 and 3, and P2, which is 5 and 1. All right, and we need to calculate the slope of that. Well, how do we do that? Like I said, we have to look at the formula right here and determine what we have. So in P1 we have x1 and y1, and on the second point we have x2 and y2, right? So therefore, if we look at the formula, so m would be equal to y2, which is 1, minus y1, which is 3, over x2, which is 5, minus x1, which is 1. So 1 minus 3 is equal to -2, and 5 minus 1 is 4, and that will give you -1 over 2. So the slope of those 2 points would be -1 over 2. Now let's see if we graph it what would that look like? Well, let's actually graph it. Okay, let's say this is 5 and this is 1, so that would be here, a point right here, and we have 1 and 3, so we have 1 and 3 is right here, so that would be that point right here. And now if we graph it, remember when you graph, you always graph from left to right, so it would be something like this. What does that mean? This means that we have a negative graph, or because we have a negative slope, which is -1/2, then we can see that the graph is gonna be negative. So basically, what does that mean? Well, that means that when you get a slope, you basically know, you kind of know what the graph would look like. Let's do a second example, and this time we're gonna be looking at not just the slope. All right, we could look at something like the y-intercept form. All right, so the y-intercept form is also something we need to understand because it's very important. So what can we do? Let's see if we do the y-intercept form. Let's do that one. When we talk about the y-intercept form, it basically means you need to substitute x with 0. So let's say we have this example right here. Let's say we have the first one we looked at right here. Y equals to 2x minus 3. Well, we already know what the slope is. The slope m is equal to 2. But when we talk about y-intercept form, y-intercept, it basically means we're gonna take x and make it equal to 0 to find out what y would equal to. So in this case right here, if we make x equal to 0, we get y equals to 2 times 0 minus 3. So therefore, y is equal to -3. And if we actually graph it, we'll see that. Let's say we put -1 for x. If let's say we go to do -1, 0, 1. So -1 for x would be y equals to 2 times -1 minus 3. And for 0, y, nope, no, that one. For 0, we would have 2 times 0 minus 3, and for 1 we would have 2 times 1 minus 3. Well, 2 times -1 is -2, minus 3 is -5. 2 times 0 is 0, minus 3 is -3, and 2 times 1 is 2, minus 3 is -1. So here we have -1, 0, and 1. -1 goes up to -5, down to -5. 0 goes to -3, and 1 goes to -1. So how would that be graphed? -1, -5 is right here. 0, -3 is right here. And nope, I did that one wrong. 0 -3 is going to be underlined. My bad. This is 0, -3 right here on the line. And 1, -1 is right here. And we go up. And you can see that this graph is positive, it's going upward. Like the one right here is going downward, and this one right here is going upward. Why? It is because the slope is positive. So this is how you find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is basically when x equal to 0. And so in this case, when x equal to 0, y is equal to -3. And this is where you can see that the graph crosses the y the y-axis. You see that? Wherever the graph crosses the axis, the y-axis, this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. This is the y-intercept form, or intercept, the y-intercept, not the form, but the y-intercept. So guys, I hope you guys actually understood it. Don't forget again, to like, subscribe to the channel, and you can always do it by my Cash App and PayPal and Zelle. They are all on the screen and in the description down below. Hope you guys understand it. I think that was pretty easy. We're gonna move forward to like more complicated ones where you have to do more calculation and things of that nature. So I hope to see you guys again on the next video. This is Math Stats. Until then, Math Stats out.